Yeah. All right. Let's see. No, we're not live yet. Oh, we're live. Okay, we're back. This is ChasDre and Mike Ramos in Mindset of a Champion, your car dealer bond. We're talking to car dealerships, car owners, car people, car industry, all the car people, and all the people out there that's trying to get their mindset straight in this mindset of a champion in this world that most people don't have. So what we're talking about today is being liked and valued. The difference between being liked and being valued. There's a few things that separate them. And I've noticed lately that it's kind of more important for me as a man to be valued than liked. Because people can like you and not value you. And if they like you and not value you, then they tend to take your values for granted and kind of use you and take advantage of you without even knowing it and be like, oh, well, we're friends, so it should be cool. You know what I'm saying? Because I like you, you like me. And that doesn't really... What's up, Jeff? What's up, Twan? What's up, Roderick? What's up, everybody coming in? That doesn't really sit well in the big scheme of things, but then it throws off the person that's being liked and not valued, because then they feel like their situation is jeopardizing their friendship. Here's my solution, and this goes into the marketing tip of the week: sacrifice. What are you willing to give up to win? Are you willing to give up being liked in order to be valued? And that's a good to me, it's a good question, because I have problems with that, because so many people like me. But then I noticed they may like me, but the value they see in me may not be there. So ultimately, what I really think about is, I don't really care if people like me, because if you value me, you automatically get the liking. You know what I'm saying? So I'd rather have the value, because the liking is like a side dish to the value. If you just like somebody, you might be missing the main meal in the value. So ultimately, I really don't give a shit if you like me. I'm gonna be honest. Like, this ain't no faith, religious type, politically correct. I'm gonna be nice and rub your tummy and say nice things. If you got problems with the way that I speak, I understand, but this show just ain't for you. This is not for all of that kind of stuff. I'm letting you know, I really don't care if you like me. From this point on, I'm not interested in people that like me. I'm only interested in the people that value me as a man and as a person, because the drop off from that is you automatically get exactly, Twan, you get respect. You automatically get you get respect, you get looked up to, you looked at as a role model. You get all of these different things involved with being valued. But being liked sucks, really, if you think about it, because it's kind of false. Like, being liked doesn't really, it's not really real, if you think about it. If the value isn't, I mean, what do you think, Mike? Like, if someone likes you and they don't really value you, do they really, really like you? I think there's a whole lot missing without that aspect, because I've been thinking about it over the past few days, and it's really gotten me to the point where I'm thinking about all the relationships that I have and the people that are in my life, and whether they like me because I'm Dre, because I'm very likable and I make them laugh, and all of that's good, because that's ultimately what I want to do. I want to make people smile and feel good about themselves. But I want to know at the same time, is there value and respect and love and morals and all of those things that you think about? Do you really want the best for me? Do you value my abilities? Do you value me as a man? Those things usually people don't think about. They're just like, you like me, we're good. You like me, I like you, and that's it. That really doesn't, I don't know if that, if that really does it for me as a man. And then at the same time, am I willing to give up? What am I willing to give up? Like, marketing tip of the week, what am I willing to give up in order to win? Am I willing to give up eating out every day? Am I willing to give up spending time hanging out with my friends so I can spend more time on my business? The number one or two waste of money in the United States is eating out every year. So am I willing to give that up to put that money into building my business, marketing my business, putting my business where it needs to be in order for me to succeed for a few years? Am I willing to do that? You know what I mean? Am I willing to give up being liked in order to get the value? Am I willing to cut all of that off? What are your thoughts?
I like the like versus value, because I'm thinking of different times in my life when I was liked in whatever platform it was, whatever I was associated with, whether it was, I don't know, fuckers you hang around at school with, back in high school. We liked each other, but there wasn't a lot of value we were bringing to each other's lives. So after high school, we went one way, and I went the other, and there was that, because there wasn't a lot of value being brought to it. And eventually, you can mention some names to me, and I might remember them, of some guys that I went to school with, or some guys that I really liked in high school. Mm-hmm. And yet at the same time, since there wasn't a lot of value besides telling each other jokes and shit, or, you know, helping each other hook up with some chick, or let me copy your homework, or, there wasn't. And then I think of guys that I went and worked with later on. We liked each other. We had jobs where we were around each other every day, and we got along just fine. But if there wasn't enough value that we were bringing to each other, we lost contact very quickly. Even some people that did bring value into my life, we've lost contact over time. But I think it a lot more. You tend to lose contact a lot less often with people that are bringing you tremendous value. If there's a tremendous value somebody's bringing to your life, you damn near got to be pushed to the other side of the state, the other side of, like really totally.
And even then,
you're going to find a way.
Right. I'm
going to send you an email, send you a text, somehow, some way, especially nowadays in today's environment. There wasn't no text back then. I mean, if I was sending somebody a page saying, I miss you, and it was a guy, it would kind of be fucking weird,
Well, yeah, I think in retrospect, what I remember, and based on what you're saying, people of value in my life, I remember them.
Yeah.
People I liked, I don't.
Yeah.
If I only liked you, right, and I didn't value you, we were just friends, just like you said, because I have a lot of people hit me up from high school. I don't remember any of them. I might remember 10 people. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I might remember 10 people. But those 10 people brought tremendous value to my life. Right. So I remember the value that they brought. Now, I liked a lot of people. A lot of people liked me.
Yeah.
I don't remember them. I don't remember their names. I went back to Easton, Pennsylvania, where I went to high school. I saw a bunch of familiar faces, but I didn't remember anybody's name. I didn't remember anybody that didn't make an impact in my life. I didn't remember. I don't remember none of you. I haven't been here in 20 years. I don't know none of you. I don't remember. Everybody remembers Andre, because my value has always been there. Even if you didn't realize it was there and you thought it was because you liked me, if you remember me, it's because I brought some type of value to you, whether you appreciated it or not. And that's what I'm noticing. I'm looking more for the value I find in people, rather than do I like you or not like you, because liking you or not liking you is completely irrelevant to an extent when it comes to whether or not you're valued or not. Being valued kind of X's out the liking part, and then it brings it up on a whole nother level, because if you're valued, they like you on a whole different level than just liking you to like you.
There's another one. As a matter of fact, I had here to share one pain point or a story. And this is a story. It falls under the category of story. But I remember working very vividly. Matter of fact, I just got a note on LinkedIn from Ken Rhodes. If you're listening out there, Ken Rhodes, you're the shit, baby. I always thought that of you. Ken Rhodes was one of the computer engineer guys. We worked with a guy named Jerry Lieberworth. Jerry Lieberworth, rest in peace, is no longer with us. Love Jerry to death. And Jerry's deal was, he was from the Netherlands, and he was a straight fucking shooter. I mean, no more trooper. I mean, he didn't give a shit. We worked in a large insurance company. And the shit that fly out of Jerry's mouth on a consistent basis, he didn't. It's not that he didn't have a filter. He just didn't see anything wrong, because in his country, you could say, tell a girl that's pregnant, geez, you look like you're about to go. Pretty soon, you're about to pop. Yeah, how did you know? Your tits are sagging. That's usually the way that you can tell on cows and you can tell on women. Same way. And he's just be like, fuck, Jerry, we're going to end up in HR right now. I got to leave your office right now.
All right.
Anywhere around this.
All right.
But
Australia's like that too.
Because he just did, there was no... but he was the smartest guy in the room about 99.9% of the time. He always knew what to do. He could always figure his way out of a problem. And no matter what, whether you liked him or not, and there were people that didn't necessarily like his style, didn't like his, the way that things came off sometimes. He didn't like that if somebody was wrong, he was going to call him out right in front of everybody and not really worry about being politically correct about it or how that's going to make somebody feel. He just say, no, you're absolutely wrong. This is exactly why we can't do that. We have to do this over here. Here's why the architecture, the framework, none of this is going to work. Our siloing system, it doesn't work if we do what you're asking to do. And these people, some of them would get pissed because they were high-level people, vice presidents, directors, you name it, and he was stepping all over people's dicks. It didn't matter who you were, women, men, didn't matter. If you were right, he was calling you out on it. So I get back to this. He brought value every day of the week. He was always the guy that you could go to no matter what your problem is. You got a problem with the electrical? Jerry can fix it. You have a problem over here fixing it? Jerry can fix it. No matter what, you always kind of look to Jerry as this guy who could always fix everything, especially if it dealt with IT or in the IT world. So people didn't necessarily like him all the time. But if you needed something done, guess who you called? You called Jerry every time. You didn't need to like him. You just needed to have somebody on your staff. You said, send Jerry an email. I don't want to talk to Jerry. I love Jerry to death, but I knew people that
me and Jerry would get along very well.
Yeah, well, Jerry was the dog shit, but I love Jerry.
One thing I posted on my Instagram on ChasDre this week sometime, or maybe late last week, was whether when you lie, you get really, really popular, but when you tell the truth, then you're like a fucking psycho or something. You're like an asshole. You're like this piece of shit. Like everybody wants to hear nice things. Make me feel good. My feelings. I'm going to be honest with everybody in the world that ever watches this. Listens. I'm empathetic. I have empathy. I can understand why I'm sure I felt the way what you're going through. But I guarantee you, if I'm complaining about it, I don't want to hear you tell me how it's going to be okay. I want to hear you tell me how I can fix it. And sometimes that's going to be painful. Sometimes the truth is going to hurt. Sometimes I'm messing up. Sometimes I'm doing dumb shit, right? I'm doing dumb shit, but I want you to tell me how my dumb shit is okay. And it's okay. No. That's how normally it is. I'm the type of person to tell the truth, regardless of how you're going to feel. And if you don't like it, we don't have to talk anymore. Ever. Because my value is determined by my word. And I'm not going to lie to you to make you feel better. And that's what people do. And it sounds like your friend, what's his name again? Jerry, he didn't mince words. I love Jerry. Jerry's my buddy. Because Jerry will tell me when I'm fucking up. And I need to know that shit. Because if my friend won't tell me that I'm fucking up, then he's probably not my friend. He just likes me. He doesn't value me. You see how like and value kind of goes into everything. It's like, do you like your business or do you value your business? Because if you just like your business, you're going to do differently than if you value it. You're going to treat it differently. You're going to sacrifice more for your business if you value it. If you just like it, you might not do nothing. You'll be like, oh, this is cool. I feel like doing this today. Or tomorrow, maybe next week, maybe my ass. You need to value, everything in your life needs to have value. And if it doesn't, then maybe you should start thinking about trimming the fat. Because that's pretty much what I've done over the past month, is I've gotten rid of a lot of things that were in my life that, over the past maybe 6 months, that were just there because I liked them. And I don't want to just like anything. I need to feel like I value you and you value me, and we're bringing our value to the table. And if you don't appreciate someone's value, then you should probably stop acting like you like them, because you don't that's not the true definition of like. Has everything to do with respect, valuing their efforts, even if they're at the beginning of starting a business. I know a few people, and this irritated me, because these are supposed to be friends of mine that look at other people that are starting a business than they do people that are already successful. And I get that, but if you're friends and you value each other, then you support them no matter what, right? That's kind of how I look at things. If you're my friend, if you're just starting your business, and I know 1,000 dealerships that need car bonds. Now you're just starting. I don't know how good you are at it. But I know you. I value your integrity. I have respect for you. I know your family. I know everything. I'm going to immediately say, call this person, this person, this person, this person. Tell them Andre told you to call. And I will, because you're in my life, I'm willing to make that sacrifice to go out on the limb for you. Because if I wasn't, then you shouldn't really be in my life. I shouldn't call you my friend if I'm not going to support you in your efforts. And if you don't feel that the efforts are up to what they should be, then maybe they're not really your friend. Maybe that's not really the person that should be in your life as your friend, that you're calling your friend. And I'm seeing this a lot with friendships, and I'm kind of getting tired of friendships, and I want more value. I want to because everybody in my life I value. There's not one person in my life that I wouldn't recommend in whatever business they are to someone else. It wouldn't even come to mind. This is the best person for the job. Whether you are or not, I know you think with the mindset of a champion. So even if you're not yet, I know that you're going to get there. And to me, it's worth it. I know they're not going to come back to me and say, oh, they dropped the ball, they didn't call it. Because the details are what matters. Getting the job right, everybody has to learn that to get the job right. Who is the best person for the job? If you're my friend and you're in my circle, then you're the best person for the job, regardless. If you have all of these qualms about the way that, you see things, and this is my friend. I had a friend tell me, well, how many leads, how many results did you get, and how many leads, and what were the results? Because I have somebody that's looking for marketing, but I'm not sure if I want to recommend you, because I don't know how it's going to go, because I know you started not too long ago. So for me, I was like, you know what? Keep your reference, keep your lead. That means you don't value me, and I'm not really your friend. We're not really friends, because for me, on the other hand, I value you. If you're just starting doing what you're doing, I'm still going to recommend you to everybody, just so you can get going to the point where you can get to where you need to go. So that's where I'm really, really separating being liked, because I'm really getting irritated with this liking thing, because I don't want people to just like me. I'd rather you value me than like me, because I don't need you to like me. I like myself. I'm good with me. I don't need anybody out there to like me. What I need is value. I need respect. I need to know that when the shit hits the fan and I need to get clients, and a bunch of people, that you're going to have my back like I would have yours. Not, well, I'm worried about what'll happen if it comes back to my name. Well, you can keep your name, your friendship, and you all can kiss my ass, because you're not really my fucking friend. And that's what I'm saying about it. I'm not interested in fake-ass friendships that are there just for your convenience. If I'm your friend, step your fucking game up and stand up and have my back like I would yours. That's the difference between being valued and liked. And I think a lot of these people out here don't get that. You think because I like you, I'm your friend, and I'm supposed to do whatever it is for you, and nothing really is coming back.
This reminds me of a saying that they have in poker. And I've heard it more in Texas Hold'em. But the guys that really know, the professionals that really know Texas Hold'em, they're constantly saying, if it's worth a bet, it's worth a raise. So if you're willing to get into this hand with this set of cards, and if you're just gonna limp in, just put in the minimum bet. Let's say the minimum bet's $5. Mm-hmm. You're willing to just put that minimum bet and not a penny more, don't put it in at all. Throw those cards away. Mm-hmm. The point is your cards have to be good enough to where if it's good enough for a bet, it's now good enough for a raise. It's not worth me putting in $5. I'll be willing to put in 10 right now just to see if I could scare a few of you fuckers off that got light feet.
Right.
Let me see if my $10. So it's got to be worth more than the 5 for me to really get in the sack with you on your business, or whether it's you got to be bringing enough value to the table to where I don't just want to limp in and barely. Because if that's the case, and I don't know enough about your business, and I found some of these guys in that same Rescom
in Rescom
group.
Okay.
I liked some of these guys. At the end of the day, when we started talking, I'm thinking they don't bring enough value to the table for what it is that I do.
Right.
They might bring some value to the table in terms of what they do and their customers and their client base. But my car dealers are very, very unique people. There's only 10,000 of them in California. There's probably only 100,000 of them in the United States.
Right.
So now we're talking about there's this one segment of the population that's very niche. This is very drilled down. You got to keep on going to get to these guys.
Right, right.
And it's not this. So these other guys that are out there doing this, doing that, they're doing a lot of other stuff. There's value there, but not necessarily for me. So for me to get into anything with them, it's not really worth it's barely worth the bet, much less it's not worth the raise. So I'm out.
Right, right.
I'm out. Because if I'm not willing to go that extra mile, which is me referring you and now putting my name on the line for it. If I'm not willing, because maybe there's no social proof, maybe it's just not a close enough connection. I could say, God damn, this guy cleaned some great looking floors, but what the hell's that got to do with your dealership? He's got to be able to connect it to, okay, he details cars too. And he's in my market. Well, shit, if he's in Fresno, but yet this guy's in Orange County or San Diego, there's not really much there for it. So it kind of, if you guys are out there dealing and dabbing and just kind of touching a few of these vendors here or there, or whatever integrations you guys have, if they're only worth barely betting on them, they're not worth the raise, start to distance yourself from, or figure it out what more value you need to see to get you to where it is worth the raise. Right? Because if it's not worth the raise, move on. Get to finding those partners or partnerships or whatever it is that is worth the raise to you, because that's where you're going to be able to really flourish. Kind of messing around with a bunch of stuff that's not really working all that well.
Right.
I don't know that brings any value to anybody. And on the topic of referring to a friend, by the way, thank you guys for referring to a friend. We ended up with over 600 downloads of this podcast.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And value, baby.
That's the way.
600 downloads this month. We ain't even done. We got another day in the month. That was yesterday. We had 600. So we're being valued for the information we're bringing, and we're seeing it. There's a difference in somebody watching and just watching. Like, oh, that was good. Well, if you're not willing to tell your people about it, if this isn't moving you, then you're not really getting value from it, because you're going to forget. If you're not watching it again, if you're not telling other, if it didn't make you move, make you want to stand up and shout, if you're not learning something from this, then it's probably not helping you. You kind of like it. You don't really value it. But when you tell somebody else about it, that's when you know there's value. That's when you know. Now, don't get me wrong. Sometimes the value may not be up to the par of what the person's perception is. Then don't act like that it is. There's no acting involved. Don't act like we're you think it's the greatest thing that you're doing, when in actuality, you just don't know enough about it to know how good it is or not. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of different things that go into understanding value and your judgments. And understand, we're not here to judge. We are here to improve. So everybody, is from the second I meet you, liking you is automatic. Valuing you is absolutely demanded. The people I like, I demand to value them. If I can't get value out of you, then I probably don't like you too much. And it's not that I don't like you. Like I could like you from a distance. Hey, we're not going to be tight. We're not going to be hanging out. You're not going to be hanging out with me and getting everything, all the value that I bring to the table. You're not going to get that, because it's not value for value. Well, unless you pay me, because I get paid to do that. You see what I'm saying? But if you don't value what I'm doing yet you still want to utilize it, then that means you're just taking advantage. Nobody wants to be around that. Nobody wants to hear about that. Nobody wants to be involved in it. You see what I'm saying? So it's very important that we value each other and we give each other value back and forth, and we demand value from the people that we say we like. And if there's no value, what do you like them for? You don't value them. So really, you're just using them for whatever you can get, or just to not be lonely, or for your own. Like, liking somebody to me is more selfish than it is anything, because you're liking them to appease yourself. Value is more about respecting and seeing them for what they bring to the universe. And that is what I always talk about. What is your purpose? What is your extraordinary? I'm always looking for it in everyone. And I believe in it with all my heart. And when you believe in someone, especially if they don't believe in themselves as much, you can push them to do things they never thought that they could do, simply by recommending or looking after them, or finding out if they're okay, or helping them when they're sick, or anything that you can do to make life better for them. All of these things are going to make that value, make you see and appreciate the value that you see in the other person. Because there's a lot of things, that you can do to bring value, but most people aren't paying attention to it. They're trying to take advantage of it, and that, to me, is what there's a big issue there. There's a big issue between like versus value, because everybody are in their feelings about this and that and all the other. But for me, value comes from people that tell you the truth. Tell you the truth, aren't afraid to tell you when you're messing up, when things aren't going right. Anybody who's always nice in your face 100% of the time doesn't value you. They just no. And I don't mean like being mean in your face or anything. I mean telling you what you want to hear 24/7. It's not value. It has nothing to do with value. Then you never know where you stand with that person, because you don't know what they say when they leave. You don't know what they say to their other friends. They don't. For me, anything I say to anybody else, I'll say directly to your face, without even thinking. I don't care if you're there, not there, be mad, be glad, be happy, sad. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I don't care about your feelings when it comes to value versus like, and being right versus wrong. And lying to somebody and telling them one thing when you'd rather say something else, it doesn't make any sense, because the expectations are different, and then your word becomes bullshit. So now the value ladder goes down. You're worth less now that I know you're full of shit. I've got a friend that I would call, and they never call back, they never answer, and then, I didn't see, my phone didn't work, this and that. I blocked them. I'm like, you know what? I'm not doing this. It's been going on for a few years. I was like, I don't have time for this. I'm not doing it anymore, because there's no value there. If you don't value me and understand who I am, I'm never calling you again. Simple as that. If you don't get who I am, if I don't get who you are, and I don't appreciate who you are as a person, then I shouldn't probably talk to you.
That value thing, I'm still spinning around on it, because between last week we cut the content, and this week we're cutting this podcast. Mm-hmm. I had about 6 calls, all asking different things. Mm-hmm. All because they saw a different value in what we were. Now, they were all coming from different
angles, right?
There was one here, there was one here, there was one way over here about claims, there's one over here. Your friend had a question about something about she had already been sold a car at an auction, and now there was a challenge.
Oh, yeah.
Is there a way to unwind that with the auction? Shit, you're fucking good luck.
How about no?
Fuck all that. No. It'd be easier for her to build a brand new car herself. So there's all these questions. One of them that I did get is about insurance, dealer insurance, versus an auto dealer bond for California. And then actually it was California. This guy was in South Orange County. But there was, it's still across the board. You're going to have the same answer across the board, no matter what state. And actually, I did the due diligence here. We got about 25 states they're downloading this thing. So whether hey, you fucker that's listening in Akron, I saw you. Don't think I didn't see your ass in Philadelphia. I saw a bunch of you fucking. There's a couple of you guys in New York. Good looking out. Florida, I saw there was some action that we're getting from all these other places. But I will say that in particular, the difference between these two is one of them for insurance. You pay a deduct. Let's say that there's a claim. You pay a deductible. You pay a small sublimit maybe. You pay the first few bucks, then they pay the rest. They try to kick your ass on the back end and increase your insurance rate when you come up for renewal. But the way that in general those claims work is they're covering accidents, things that you never saw coming, and they're going to cover those exposures for you after you've pitched in the first $500 to $1,000 typically. A bond is not like that. A bond is something that there's a claim, and this claim is about something that you did specifically. You did this very intentionally. You have a fine with the DMV. You've gotten the fine paperwork on it. You didn't give them their $5, and you fuckers are laughing about $5. I've got about 10 claims right now that are for $5 to the DMV because you fucker didn't pay them. You fuckers aren't paying your fine. Now, if you pay your fine, you get it out of the way, you're done, fine. But if you don't, they turn in a bond claim. Your bond company is going to pay that $5 because it's justified. But that's considered an intentional thing. Any bond claim that it's paid on your behalf, you've got to pay back 100%. Don't let anybody tell you different. If the bond company pays out $1, they're going to want that dollar back, right? And they don't want it back in 2 years. They want it back expeditiously. So if you have a claim that has to be researched and then paid for $5,000, and the research is $1,000, depending on what company you're with, you may end up getting charged the research and the claim amount. Some companies won't. So watch that. That was the main point of what I was explaining to this gentleman last week. But take it for what it's worth. Understand the difference between a bond and insurance. And in a lot of different states, like California, here's the difference between getting liked and valued. The DMV is not going to like this. I'm hiking up their skirt here, but there is no insurance requirement in California. You guys that are out there that know the rules, you guys know that I'm telling you the truth. The auction might require it. Your lending firm might want it. They're going to mandate it. But the DMV does not mandate you to have insurance to get your license or to keep your license. Now the bond, that's mandated. That's policed in California. Other states like, I know you guys in Oregon are fucking jumping up and down. So God, you don't understand. I get it. You guys, they do. The DMV in Oregon is so much better than ours here. They police you to have insurance and a bond. But they're two totally separate things, and they operate two totally separate ways. When you're going to get charged 100% for it, that's the bond. So, FYI. Difference between liked, value. I'm hoping that brings value to you, because now you know that if you're one of those guys that has insurance, you're in a small segment. You're in probably 50% of the population that has it. You probably have something to market now. Think about that. You can't market your bond because every other fucker on the planet has to have a bond. There's nothing to market. Mm-hmm. If you've got insurance, now when you take a guy on a test drive, guess what? That car is now covered. That liability. They're not going to go looking for this driver because you don't have fucking insurance. You don't have insurance. They're test driving your car. They get in an accident. They rear end somebody because this is the first time driver. Who's going to pay the fucking claim, baby? You're putting them out there on public roads with your vehicle. They're going to come after you, looking for you. That guy in the Mercedes that they rear end, they're coming after your ass. You better believe Liberty, Surety, Progressive, Geico, whoever it is that pays his claims, subrogating against you and against your driver. So you're putting all your customers or potential customers in harm's way also. Every time you go and test drive a vehicle, when you think, do I want to buy this car or not? Gosh, it looks nice, but I don't know. Let me take it for a test drive. Who the hell's insuring it? Mm-hmm. And if you do get into an accident, what happens in that scenario? What do you think happens in that scenario if you don't have insurance? Mm-hmm. You guessed it. So if you got insurance and you're out there listening, definitely you should be leveraging that in a big way. And if you don't have it, that was actually the word from the sponsors this week. from your car dealer bond, that was the one thing these guys asked me to specifically mention, was in 2019, there's two things you have to have. If you're a retail car dealer, it's insurance and it's a dealer management software. You gotta have both. There's no reason why you shouldn't, for the low cost of what it's gonna cost. I mean, DMS is under $100. If you don't have $100 to invest in your business, you got a problem.
And you don't value your business.
You don't value your business. And
you like your business.
You ever heard of a guy named John Taffer? The bar guy, the bar rescue guy? This guy goes into bars, and he goes and he'll go into a dive fucking bar, and he'll figure out what's wrong with this bar, and he'll go and he'll sniff around and say, shit, over here you guys haven't cleaned this area by the bar for 2 months. It smells like shit. It smells like mold. Over here, let me look at this. Over here, what are you guys doing? You guys aren't serving fresh fruit with the drinks. You guys have this old ass syrup or whatever you guys are doing. And he'll come in and revamp the whole thing. First thing he does is puts in, it's called a point of service system. That is the same thing as a DMS system. It's a dealer management software that helps them organize their entire business. That's the first move they're always making, is first let's get you on software, because if your software ain't right, you're not going to be able to organize. You think you're going to be able to do it on spreadsheets? I can tell you right now, if you're doing it on spreadsheets, unless somebody at the top of the food chain that's actually doing and putting in the data and understands it, unless that fucker's a genius, you guys are shooting yourself in the foot. And if you are a genius, chances are you guys are willing to put out $100 to invest
right,
in your
that
business.
is true. That is true.
So chances are that's not happening. You guys can't see certain things. When do people's birthdays come up in the system? So you can send them a birthday card. Gee, I don't fucking know in my spreadsheet. There's no reminders that are sent to you. There's nothing that I could turn around in my spreadsheet usually in quick time and tell you, here's who sold the most cars last year. Here's how long the Honda's average sat on the lot. Here's how long the Nissans sat on the lot, average time. This one was 32 days. This one's 62 days. Which one do you think I want to buy in 2019? I want this shit to fly off the chair. It's got to go. It's got to get off my lot. The longer it sits here, time is money. I got all that invested into this one car. I'm paying interest on it now. Fuck all that. You got to get out of these things, and you got to understand your data. That happens through DMS. The other reason why they asked to mention insurance is because there's too many fuckers out there running around without insurance, and you guys are looking at the small picture and not the real big mural that's right there. And this whole thing gets shut down. Even if you're making some money, this whole thing gets shut down if you don't spend the time to invest in protecting your business, and that's done through insurance. Typically in this market, in the dealer market. So do what you guys have to do. If you guys have any questions, they have an 866 number, 866-357-4405. That's the word from the sponsors. Again, 866-357-4405, and their website is CAL, that's a little hyphen, Cal-Surety, S-U-R-E-T-Y. C-U-S-U-R-E-T-Y, so cal-surety.com. And DMS insurance, if you guys have questions about it, what benefits it brings you. 2 of the questions that I had last week of the 6 were about, one was about insurance, one was about DMS. And one of them right now is going through a demo as we speak on DMS. He's got 2 of them today. He's going through 2 different demos. He's just starting his business. Really good guy, Artie, out of Southern California. He's right now looking in DMS. I don't know what he's going to do with this insurance piece, but he's a retail dealer. He's down in like San Bernardino, and he said, I need software. I know I need software. He's a younger guy, so he's not like a 50-year-old that's been fighting software for 10 years. He just knows he needs it. So invest in yourself, invest in your business, find the value, the best value that's out there for your buck. Because these DMS companies, I don't have a dog in the race on these things. Whatever brings you the most value for your particular business, every company's slightly different. Definitely invest into yourself, because and anybody out there that doesn't have a business or has a different business, not dealer managed and not a car dealership, look into some kind of software that'll help you organize your business on any level, on whatever level it is, whether it's marketing software, whether it's a CMS, whatever it is, you gotta end up with some type of software in 2019 if you think you're gonna compete in the real world. It's just not gonna happen any other way.
Yeah, you definitely your software will help you control the traffic, and the more traffic you have, the more money you make. And if you can't control the traffic you have and be engaged with your traffic, then you're not gonna sell anything. You know, that's who your audience is. So the software that he's speaking of, and the CRM software and marketing or whatever it is business that you have, actually manages your traffic that you own. And there's three different types of traffic. There's traffic you don't own, traffic you control, and then there's traffic that you own. So you want to get to the traffic that you own, because traffic that you don't own is just traffic that's out there. Traffic that you control is traffic that people have seen you. Traffic that you own is people that have actually signed, put their information in and put it in, and then they put their information in and you got their information. They opted in and now you own it. Oh, there's my daughter's mom. Ay, feliz cumpleaños por mi hija, Suleika. Dile Sierra, por favor. The software that you need for your business is some type of CRM, but you have to be like, back in the day it was spreadsheets and you had them all written in. Now they have it so automated to where as soon as they come in, they're in your whatever system you have, and you can email them, text them, all kinds of, and that's how you stay engaged, because on email it's maybe 4% open rate. Well, think, it's text, it's 80% in the first minute. So there's all kinds of things out there. We offer a software with my marketing agency. There's the dealership software, everything. There's dealership software, there's everything. So I want everybody to really, really understand how important it is to manage and value your customer. Like, it's very important to value the customer as much as it is important for the customer to value you. Don't get it twisted, because I want everybody, like, I don't really chase, so to speak, customers. I might market for customers. People hear about me. Like, I haven't had to do a whole lot when it comes to marketing, just because of the type of marketing that I do with just getting out, networking and everything. However, I do put money into the marketing. It's very important for you to invest back into your business and show your business that you value it. Because if you just show your business that you like it and only value it, your business will only hang out with you every day. And that's it. It won't make you any more money. It won't do anything great. It won't scale up. It won't do anything. Once you start valuing what your business is capable of and start sacrificing and being willing to do whatever it takes to make sure that the value that you see in your business grows, that's when things start changing. So make sure you have that mindset when it comes to your business. Do I like my business? Like, if you're doing 7 things or 25 things, write them all down. Pick the top 5 and only concentrate on those top 5 that you value the most. And then do the one that's going to make you the most money so that you can do the other 5. But don't even pay attention to the other 20 things that you do until they're in the top 5. Because that's when you value them. Those other 20 things, you just like them. They're just there. Oh, yeah, that's cool. I like to do that. I want to do this. I want to do that. I got all kinds of things I like to do. But I don't have anything I value enough to stop my top things that I'm doing. Because those I value because I see the value in them. These things are just things I got, okay, years down the line, months down the line, whatever, when I get a chance. But this stuff, these top things that I have to do, those have a different type of value. They're a different scale. And that goes for any industry, any business, any relationship, anything you do. Make sure there's value involved and not just I'm doing it because I like it. I've been in relationships just because I liked the girl, not because I valued her. There's a significant difference, and a woman will tell you every single time. If you value a woman and if you like a woman, she can tell and she sees the difference, and it sucks if you just like her. It may be cool for a little while, but eventually that like wears off. Now that value, when you see value in someone, it never goes away. Ever, ever, never. Ever, 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 never. Ever. So you always always remember the people you valued. For example, when I was in high school, I had I guess younger than high school, elementary school, I had a mentor, coach, and he brought so much value to my life. Now, mind you, he was going after, I only had him for a year. First person that ever really showed it, but the value that he brought, I so loved it. Like, he was on, like, I liked all my coaches and everybody else, the teachers, it was all cool and all, but there was a difference in the value that I felt for Bob Hutton. Like, he was, I remember his name. I don't remember people's names from high school. This was 6th grade. And I'll never, ever, that's the difference. I want you to really, really focus on the people that are stuck in your head and think about the way that you think of them and why you remember them. Because I didn't realize I valued them. I had no idea I valued them differently than I liked the other people. So the people that I valued, I remember every single person in my life that I valued. Like they're here right now. They could have died, they could be gone, whatever. I remember them like they're here right now with me. I know their name, I know what they look like, I know the creases in their face. This is the difference between value and liking. And it's very important. Like, you got to look at other businesses. Same thing. When you see your customers, do you value them? Do they value you? Is it a mutual respect? Are you giving each other the same amount of value? Do you see this? Are they going to be in your life? Because everybody I value, they'll be in my life forever. Whether we talk to each other or not, they're in here and in here forever. If I just like you, I won't even remember you once you're gone. It's as simple as that. I will not, and it's not purposely, subconsciously you don't have control over it. Your subconscious only remembers extraordinary. Just like the universe. The universe don't pay attention to average, mediocre. Liking is average. Liking is mediocre. Oh, I like, he's my friend. Oh, yeah, but I don't value him. Yeah, that means in 5 years, if he's not here, you'll forget him. People in high school, I've got hundreds of people that send me friend requests. Hey, Dre, remember this? Nope. You know why? Because I brought the value, but didn't get any back. And there's a significant difference, and there's a huge gap in people not understanding that paradigm. Like, there's a shift that needs to go amongst people and understanding. Listen, I like you, but I don't value you, or I value you, so I love you. Value brings on a whole different type of emotion. And Mr. Hutton being in my life, I have all kinds of I remember Mrs. Tickle, she had the same effect on me from 3rd grade. I don't remember not one of my other teachers. I remember the one I didn't like, Mrs. Wallheater. I remember that because of her name. But we didn't like her. But I don't remember anything about her. Mrs. Tickle, she was the most wonderful. Mr. Hutton, he was the most wonderful. Like, they brought value to us as children and teaching us how to be greater and loving us unconditionally. They were doing it because they loved us. They weren't doing it because they needed a check or a job or whatever. It was done because they actually valued us and we valued them back. So when you're doing anything, when you're out there trying to build your sales team, when you're trying to blow your business up, whatever it is you're doing, make sure you see the value in it so that you put more effort into the value and understanding, because liking will make you get lazy. Liking will be like, maybe next year. I won't tell nobody about him. I don't know about him yet. You know why? Because you don't value me yet. And if you don't value me, you might not talk to me. You might not see me no more. And it's not saying anything about you or me. It's just that's how relationships work. And I've noticed that over my lifetime. Every single person that I value, I remember them. Every single one, whether they valued me or not, because some of them didn't value me the same, and I'm pretty sure they might not remember me. Just like vice versa from the people that I've touched in my life. But really, really put emphasis on value versus like, because value brings on a whole different level of understanding and love and empathy and wanting to do more and sacrifice what you're willing to do for that. Like, if you value someone, you'll sacrifice for them. You'll go to bat for them. If you like someone, you won't. Let me explain something. I don't give a shit if you like me. I'm letting everybody know I do not. That goes for everybody I know now. It goes for everybody I've known before. I don't fucking care if you like me. What I care about is value, because value brings love. Value brings empathy. Value brings support. Value brings loyalty. These are things, if you like someone, you don't have for. You don't have those things for them if you like them, because those things are absolute. Nah. Everyone I value, all of those things go into it 100% unconditionally. And this is from day one. You have to prove to me that you're not worthy, that you have no value, or that you choose not to have value. This is how I work. And everybody that knows me knows if I recommend somebody, they don't have to think twice about it. And I could have just met you, but I know well enough to know that if I see the value in you immediately, then I'm going to recommend you immediately. Case in point, I just met a guy maybe 3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago. I don't know. Tony. I'm going to throw him out there. Tony Simone. And I just met him. He's a good guy, young cat. He's in his 30s, got a daughter, baby, everything, and wife. And since I met him, he's immediately. Now, I didn't realize the level that he was on. He's on a level that nobody else I know is even close to. No one I know is close. Maybe a couple people in this city, I mean. So, and he's very humble, he's very quiet, he's very understanding, but he valued me. He immediately started hitting me up because he saw the value in me to meet. We met, he immediately started giving me things to help my business. Immediately, because he valued what I was bringing as much as I valued him. He immediately started sending me texts of books that he had that I would be interested in reading. Told me to come to his office, to his library, and come getting, and then showed me how he does his business. Sat there with him for an hour and a half, just showing me. He's coming in next week to check out the marketing. Not only that, but let me tell you something else he did. He recommended his very, very wealthy friends that own businesses to immediately come and sit and find out about the packages that we have as far as marketing. Now, he's only known me a month. These are people he's known for years. This is the difference between value and liking someone. There's a huge difference between value and liking. He saw the value in me, not because he knows how good I am at marketing, because he knows how good I am at integrity, honesty, loyalty, all of the things that make your business great. Value. He saw all of that from being around me. Now, another friend that did the opposite. Now, who's the real friend? It's a funny question, and it hits home. It's funny because it hits home. Who's the real friend? Because I've known him a month, and he's already, now his friend that he recommended, this friend, Bob, said, I'm going to bring a partner from Hawaii and a partner from Reno so that they can also WebEx video conference in, because they want to see it also. Now I'm talking, this is probably a 6-figure deal a year. It happened in less than 30 days of knowing this person. That's the difference between liking someone and value. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't even know if Tony likes me. I mean, because he doesn't know me well enough, right? I don't know if he likes. I assume that he does because I like him. But how much like can you have in a month? It can only be so much. But what we do see is immediate value. Immediate. Not even like people that know me personally know I'm real nonchalant. I'm cool. I'm laid back. I like to do I don't have any issues really when it comes to hanging out. You know, I'm pretty basic. But for someone to actually see the value in you versus liking you, it tends to change the whole outlook of everything that you're doing, and the way that you see them and the way that they see you. And I guarantee you, because I've been seeing it over the past few years of this whole shift of liking someone versus valuing them. And like I said, I would recommend, like, all the people that I know, I want the best for them. So I'm giving them my best. Now, for a friend to question whether or not you're going to get my best, and you know me, means you don't really value me. You're judging me. I'm not interested in that. We're not really that close friends then. You just like me. Don't like me. Value me. Don't like my business. Don't like your business. Value it. In everything that you do, say you're doing your business really well, value your family the same way. Value your friendships the same way you do your business. Because life gets a lot easier, it gets a lot simpler. I always say, keep it simple, keep it stupid. You gotta value your customers. And if they don't value you, it's probably best to walk away, because they're going to try to get over on you. Because they don't see the value in your price points. They don't see the value in doing it. Why can't I get it for free? I like you, we're friends. Shouldn't I get it for free? No. That means you don't value my work. You don't value the time that I put in learning what I've learned. You don't value the time I put in giving you everything I've already done for free. You don't value anything but what it is that your agenda is. You think because you like me that we're okay, and it's okay to be a dumbass. But you can't be a dumbass to people that you value. You can only be a dumbass to people that you like, because you don't really care if the people that you like are gone.
If you guys had a pair of pants that every time you like this pair of pants, you like them, they look good on you, they're the right color, whatever. You put them on every time, there was nothing in those pockets ever. And you had another pair of pants. Maybe they didn't look as good, maybe they didn't feel great, but every time you put them on, no matter what, each pocket had $100 in them.
Wow.
What pants are you going to put on more often?
There's it's not
that much. It's not that much different here in what we're talking about. You like a certain car, you know. You love Honda, you love Toyota, but every time you bring them onto the lot, they take twice as long to sell and they make you half as much profit.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that you like those cars, is it a good business decision to keep flooring your lot? Unless there's some massive opportunity that you're getting because you do this.
Right.
Unless there's some ancillary thing that's not being considered. But if all things are basically equal, there's no reason you should be married to certain things just because you like. I like the idea of going on YouTube and having more of a YouTube presence. Unfortunately, the value was really pronounced in the podcast.
Right.
For our particular audience, car dealers, for some reason, aren't watching a lot of video on shit that I was making videos on. And I had made just as many videos as podcasts. And I went back and looked at it and said, here's the value here in video, here's the value here. And one of these is averaging 15, 20, 30 downloads. And this one over here is averaging 75 in the same amount of time. Which makes more sense to actually go after? I like one of them better. That doesn't fucking matter. Which has more value in what we're trying to accomplish here long term. And that, it became very clear what it was. And I had to get away from, but I want to do this. But I like doing this. And I had to get away from that to be able to focus on what actually is more valuable, right? And you might have to do a little A/B testing, but there's no other way for you to come to some of these conclusions. If you got your eyes so tightly closed, you're just going.
Right.
You know, you're not going to come to these conclusions. Hopefully we're sparking something in your mainframe that at least is putting you on the path of starting to think about this stuff, to think about value versus what you just like, right? Activities, what's bringing value versus what you just like to do. Speaking of value, we've got another bonus episode of content that's probably going to be coming out once a week for car dealers, and it's going to be talking specifically California used car dealers, some other stuff that trails into some other states, but all things all done with people that work on this shit all day long. That's what you're going to get, is there's going to be a separate bonus episode every week that's just going to be done with either Teresa or Renee. And any of you guys that do business with us have probably talked to Renee or Teresa at some point. And they've been on the front line for the last 8 years answering every question you guys have, whether you guys have been in business for 20 minutes or 20 years. You guys have questions, they've got answers. You guys are constantly running into problems with your inspectors. They're the ones that are helping you get out of that muck. So once a week, there's my shameless pitch to an extra podcast a week that we'll be doing. So we'll continue to do this Mindset of a Champion iteration of this Your Car Dealer podcast, and then we'll have a separate iteration where it's just going to be geared to really getting down deep into the weeds of a lot of the questions that we hear, a lot of the problems that these guys face. Why are they going out of business? We see a different car dealer out of business twice a week. And you say, well, why twice a week? Because we're in contact with so many of you at renewal of your bond, right? And if we got 100 guys to talk to, for sure, I'm coming in with 2 of them. They're going out of business a week. Teresa's coming in with 2 of them. They're going out of business a week. Renee's got 2 of them that are going out of business at least twice a week. Why are all these fucking guys going out of business? We're going to talk about it. We're going to get in deep. Just like we get in here, we're trying to give you all the value you guys could possibly want, so that you're not just liking it. You might like Dre, you might like hearing his voice, whatever it is, but we want there to be value behind this thing too, in every way possible. So another way just for us to say thank you for telling people about what you guys are stumbling across here, because I guarantee you it's not me that's that's beating the drum, that's doing anything special. It's you guys out there that are telling a friend that you're finding value in something, and they can probably find value in the same thing. So by all means, I think it was a great place that we got to today. I think we'll continue to build on this. But like versus value, you guys take it out in your lives, into your day life, into your night life. Take it into all of it. If it's not worth the raise, it's not worth the bet. If it's not worth you going in full force on it 100%, it's not even worth you going 80% on it. Don't even fuck around with it. Do something else. Do something else with your time, because your time is too valuable at the end of the day. That's what you should value, is your own fucking time. You only got a certain amount of it. You might have 900 months left on this earth, right, from start to finish. You might have 800 months left. I don't know. You might have a certain amount of Mondays left. Get your shit together. We need to really start to focus on the big shit. Time's wasting. You know what I mean? And we got shit to do. There's only so many more Wednesdays I'm going to be alive. My hair's on fire. We got to get this shit done. And I can't be spending a bunch of time doing shit I just like doing. I got to find value. Or else I can't fuck around with it. I just can't fuck around with it. It's that simple. I like my neighbors, but there's not enough value in the relationship for me to be spending a bunch of time with them every day.
Yeah. So I don't even like my neighbors. So. I don't know them, so I don't know if I like them.
There's no value. There's no value. If there was some fucking value,
whatsoever.
Right? There it is.
So concentrate on value, which is, I think, the focus in pretty much everything.
Yeah.
You know, in car deals, insurance, DMS systems, how to build your business. I mean, look for the value in your resources. Look for the value in everything that you do. Look for the value in your partners. Look for the value in your children. Like, that's important, because they need to understand they're valuable, and the only one they listen to that they believe that is in you, you know? So make sure you're leading by example and showing this aspect of life, because kids are really caught up in being liked. They think it's really important that people like them, and their friends or whoever the idiots are that are popular at the school at the time like them, when there's no value there. Nobody gives a shit. Who gives a shit about them, about the popularity? I mean, you can go to any aspect of life at any time in your life where being liked isn't a big factor. And we really need to focus on this and really understand how there's no real value or anything involved in liking someone. Liking someone means absolutely nothing. Value, I think value is where it's at. I think that's where the GPS is leading us to. Value, y'all. Value. Liking is, somewhere on the way, I guess. But value is, I'd much rather someone value me than like me. And that's like the example I gave with Tony. I don't know if he likes me. I really don't. But I know he values ChasDre. And I know a lot of people value ChasDre a lot more than they may like me, because they don't really know me, but they see what I'm about. They see what we're about and what we're trying to do. So everyone can see the value. Usually when you start liking someone, depending on what you like them for, it tends to blur your vision of the value that they bring. And I've noticed that in some experiences that I've had recently. But try to find the value and stay focused on that, and everything else will work out.
How do they find you, Dre?
You find me on ChasDre on Instagram, ChasDre. You can email me at dre@chasdre.com. You can book an appointment with me on my Instagram. I also do one-on-one coaching, motivational speaking. I work with kids. I work with single moms. So you can find me on Mindset of a Champion group on Facebook, or ChasDre on Facebook. Also the ChasDre page. Follow us on there. Twitter, ChasDre. LinkedIn. I think LinkedIn is Andre Powell. So there's a few different ways. I'm not hard to find. Just really, you put in ChasDre. You Google ChasDre, and I'm pretty sure everything for ChasDre is me, because I own everything that's ChasDre. So I'm pretty easy to find. And then we've got Mike over here with Your Car Dealer Bond. Tell them how to find you, Mike.
Your Car Dealer Bond. That's the way. Instagram, whether it's on Facebook, LinkedIn, you can find me, Mike Ramos, on LinkedIn. Also, Pinterest, we got an account there. Really watch out for the content, though. Really tell a friend here. We'd love to hear. And if you have any questions for me, sock it to me. Mike at yourcardealerbond.com. Rewind that shit. Mike at yourcardealerbond.com.
Oh, absolutely.
Email me. I'd love to hear your questions. Shit, I'll give you a shout out in the podcast. There was a guy, Miguel from San Diego, last week, who just called me. I give his ass a shout out too. He's forgot what dealership he's from, but if he gives me another, he called our 866 number, and he had some questions. I got him in the right direction there. But if you guys have questions, let me know. I'm really here to help you guys out with red tape around the way, kind of understanding things, get a real good grip around what you're doing. But Your Car Dealer Bond, check it out all the way around. Whatever we're doing, we're trying to give you guys value. So definitely check it out. Next week we got another one of these, and I think from here on out we'll probably do 2 a week in some fashion, just to get you guys some more content, because it looks like you guys are eating it up. So
picking it up and taking it with you, huh?
There's value. So I'm doubling down in the area that I see the value. Guess what? I'm putting Facebook aside a little bit, putting Twitter aside a little bit. I'm going to double down on this goddamn podcast because you guys see the value in it. It all comes right back to what the hell we're talking about. I'm trying to pull this shit into my own life because I got the same pain points you guys do. With your guys' dealerships, with your guys' businesses, we've all got the same general pain points. How do we stay fucking focused? Because all of us got all this shit in our heads, and we're all so prolific on a lot of different levels. How do we stay focused and stay in that lane? How do we stay and focus on value versus being liked? It's all the same exact shit. So anyway, we're going to continue to sock you that content. Mike Ramos and ChasDre, as the Your Car Dealer podcast, Mindset of a Champion. You guys take care out there. You guys have a good week. Anything else, Dre?
Nope, that's it. Hey, if you want to reach me, like I said, dre@chasdre.com. If you have any questions, feel free to go ahead and email me at your convenience, same as Mike. I'm the mindset guru, mindset mogul, mindset of a champion, mindset management. You got to get your mindset right, because if you can't think about it correctly, it don't matter what happens. Everything is about your perception of the situation, and everything that happens to you, good or bad, is part of the process to success. It's not the opposite. So stop looking at things like they're happening to you, because everything that happens because of you, not to you. So you have to understand your purpose and why these things are happening, and find the good in it. So like I said, if you need to reach me, again, dre@chasdre.com. I'll give shout outs also on the podcast. I want to know what everybody thinks. I want to know what your questions are. I want to be able to help as much as possible, and I want to be able to provide value, because I don't want you to like me. I want you to value me. That's it.
You guys take care. Have a good week.
Y'all guys take it easy. I'll see you when I see you.